What is going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. So free agency has been crazy this year, and it also hasn't really been all that friendly to me. I literally made a video about how after the Antonio Brown trade, Julio Jones might just be better than him now. But now OBJ is traded, and I'm like, do I have to go over that one too? And then one video I made, I literally talk about how Ryan Schraeder is going to be a key piece to our offense this year, and now he's gone. Well, what does this overall mean for the Falcons? Well, let's dive into that. Even though Ryan Schraeder had 3 years left in his contract with the Falcons, the team did inform him that he will be released at supposedly June 1st of this year. This is a pretty big loss for Atlanta, and whoever picks him up in free agency will have at least one talented O-lineman. Now, I'm assuming the Falcons are trying to rebuild their O-line because they obviously released Schraeder, but they also released 2 guards, Andy Levitre and Ben Garland. Literally, all 3 of those players were part of the Super Bowl squad in 2016 with the highest scoring offense. So obviously they were key players. But the question is, why would you release them? Besides maybe cap space, I guess. Well, first, let's take a look at what happened last year. Now, yes, I do know that I actually already made an episode talking about how the Falcons need to possibly draft an O-lineman after what happened in 2018, but I'll just recap all that I said in that episode. Basically, Matt Ryan was hit 108 times, which by the way is a career high, and he was the 8th most sacked QB in the league, being sacked 42 times. Now, could you blame this on some of the injuries we had up front? Sure. But let's look at all 3 of those O-linemen I mentioned earlier and see their 2018 results. Well, Andy Levitre was out for the season, Ben Garland rotated snaps with anyone else that we had at guard, and Schraeder was actually benched. Ty Sombrello took his position and didn't even do that good. So what this tells me is that all 3 of those players are not as good as they once were, and now they've all been released. Now, the Falcons did sign 2 O-linemen that I think will possibly be a good fit. Left guard James Carpenter from the Jets and right guard Jamin Brown from the Giants. Well, since they're both only guards, this means that Atlanta is probably going to draft a tackle this year. Now, who will they draft? I have no idea. I don't expect them to pick up an O-lineman in the first round and possibly even the second. But on the bright side, like I say in almost every episode, this year's draft is absolutely stacked with both O-linemen and D-linemen. So there's a lot of options. Let's just hope that they're smart with the choice that they will make. So overall, I do think it was the right move to release Schraeder because after last year's regression on the O-line, Atlanta's definitely trying to improve their offensive line. And I'm glad they realized that this year and they're not like, let's just keep them for one more year just to see how everything works out. So let's just hope that the 2 free agents they picked up, their draft pick, and whatever other surprise comes in will only help this team. But other than that, I have 2 announcements to make. One is that there will not be any new episode next week. I'm off on a spring break cruise, so there's not going to be any Wi-Fi. And if there is Wi-Fi, it's going to be really slow. But after that, I'm actually going to be back making weekly content. And the second announcement is that whether you guys agree or not with whatever I said, make sure to smash that like button, blow up the comment section, and definitely subscribe so you don't miss any content. Besides next week, there's new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. And I will see you guys, not this coming Tuesday, but the one after that at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. Rise up.